What happens to Kamala Harris now?
Where does she go from here?
Yeah. Where does she go? I know you're not a Democrat, but
the ash heap of history.
But typically you run for president and you lose on the Democratic side, and you get John Kerry's our climate czar, I guess, right? And there's always a soft landing for the loser.
I don't think so. Not for her.
Tell me.
I think she was such a disaster. They got stuck. I mean, first of all, they boxed themselves into a corner of their own making.
Yes.
Right. They knew Joe Biden.
They got a DEI candidate and they lived with the results.
Right. And then all of a sudden realized in June, this isn't going to cut it.
I'm glad they didn't make her like a commercial airplane pilot. America got out pretty easy.
Right. We did. And I think they got stuck and they realized this is the only horse we've got to ride. They tried to pull it off. It looked for a couple of weeks, maybe they've got a shot. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, obviously, the reality of who she is.
Yep.
A lightweight, intellectually a lightweight, so far in over her head. It's clear that she's just been going up the ranks as a DEI advancement for her whole life.
Yes.
I think they're going to be very happy for her to fade off into obscurity. I mean, all this. I saw some.
You feel sorry for it at all?
I do not at all.
I kind of do. Maybe I'm the liberal here, but I feel like she's a victim of self-esteem culture, and I think
she's allowed herself to be that, though.
She had no.
I mean, she's been a beneficiary of it. She's had.
She became vice president of the United States.
Well, I'm saying based off, being completely honest, based off her talents or lack thereof, or her skill sets, whatever. She's had a pretty freaking good life.
No, she had. No, you're
great
absolutely
life.
Right. But imagine
far above and beyond what she should have done.
Yeah, no, you're right. But that's true. But she's also just a vessel for the ambitions of others. Like she's almost like an innocent bystander, kidnapped off the street, just human trafficked into her current position. Do you know what I mean? It's like you just look like the kind of person.
I don't know if I've ever heard it described that way.
No,
I'm gonna have to think about that.
I'm a liberal, but she's so dumb. And you just could, what is that phrase they use? Imposter syndrome?
Yes.
Where you sort of know that you're not qualified to be doing what you're doing. And people say they feel that way, but her whole life was that.
She has no future in national politics.
Oh, for sure. So will she be the head of the douchebag foundation or wherever they sort of put people like that?
I don't know. I really don't.
Not, right?
It feels like she has completely even though she's still, vice president for a few more weeks, it feels like she has already been relegated to obscurity, and I think that's going to be the rest of her. Yeah, it's going to be the rest of her existence. I'm sure that somewhere someone will find her a nice gig at a foundation, but I think this is the last time you're going to see any serious conversation about her.
I think they should be required to keep her in the public eye, like George Floyd. I always felt like once we declared him Jesus. I don't know if you remember that. I wanted to keep talking about George Floyd.
Right.
Like, why don't we have George Floyd Day?
Right.
Like, let's talk about his porn career.
I think
his drug addiction and his armed robbery conviction.
I think they're more than happy for her to just simply fade away. Into
so I don't think they should be allowed to do that. I don't think they should be allowed to memory hole Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Like, she should have to explain how her first name is pronounced and why she doesn't do so consistently. I think she should be forced to talk a lot more, just to like make them live, like make the dog return to his vomit.
Right.
That's what we should make them do.
We should.
Like, where is Kamala Harris? She's like the greatest joy spreader this country's ever seen. How did she disappear?
I think they will do everything that they can to avoid that. I think they will do everything they can to make sure that we never have a conversation about her again.
She should be president of Harvard. I think, no, I'm serious. You should take their most beloved institution, the most rotten, corrupt, disgusting, overrated,
You should start a petition on this.
For real. Like, she's such a genius. She's so incredibly accomplished. She's the most accomplished woman who ever ran for president. She should be required to be the head of Harvard. How great would that be?
I like that.
Yes.
Sure, let's do it. We could start a campaign together.
Don't you think?
Let's do it.
But in real life, like, she's just going to fade.
She's gone.
Yeah,
she's gone.
Are you ready to make getting a good night's sleep your New Year's resolution? It's a worthy resolution. Cozy Earth completely transformed the way we sleep, and it's made the difference. Everyone on our team agrees. They got bamboo sheet set. It sounds weird, but it's awesome. Ask anyone who works here. They love them. Cozy Earth sheets made from 100% premium bamboo derivatives are soft and breathable, and they get better with every wash. Again, sounds weird until you try it, in which case you are hooked. Cozy Earth also prioritizes quality and care with a 100-night sleep trial. So that means you try their sheets for up to 100 nights. If you don't love them, you send them back for a full refund. We're not going to ask what they do with those sheets, but you get your money back, so there's no risk. A good night's sleep is essential. Visit CozyEarth.com/Tucker. Use our exclusive code Tucker for up to 40% off. And if you get a post-purchase survey, mention you heard about Cozy Earth from this show. We'd be grateful. What about Jill Biden?
Dr. Jill?
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be sexist. She has an education degree from the University of North Delaware or whatever.
You mean our first female president?
Yeah.
Come on. I think the scary part to me over the last 4 years is that we knew, some of us knew sooner than others, but I think a lot of people knew this guy had early cognitive decline. He was already in some stage of dementia.
His sister was telling people, I know that,
from pretty much day one
for president.
Right, from pretty much day one of him being sworn in. I mean, this to me is one of the great scandals of, I don't know, however many generations of political history.
Ever, yeah.
That we had Joe Biden in the White House in cognitive decline, early dementia, whatever you want to call it, who was actually running the country for 4 years. I mean, this to me is like it's a Woodrow Wilson replay, right? Where his wife and his chief of staff were actually running most of...
Tony Blinken, I think, was running.
You think Blinken?
I do.
Yeah.
But certainly the meaningful parts of the...
And then everybody covered it up.
Yeah, I know.
Like, wait.
Joe Scarborough, this is the greatest version of Biden ever.
So, yeah, Dr. Jill, our first female president, should have a bright future in front of her, whatever she wants to do. And
the one thing I always liked, well, there were actually, honestly, a couple things I always liked about Hunter Biden. I know you're not supposed to say it, but, I knew him well, and I always kind of liked him. And drug addiction was he became a monster because of cocaine and pills, as many do. But he hated her.
Really?
Oh, he thought she was a screaming bitch. And he said so in person, and he said so in writing on his laptop. Oh, yeah. He said that she was a bitch and stupid. And I think that's a fair assessment from someone who spent his life living with her. Like he would, if anyone would know what Dr. Jill is really like, it's her stepson, Hunter, who started dating his dad when he was like 4 or something. So, and I don't know why Republicans didn't make more of that. And everyone wanted to focus on the crack and the toe sucking and everything, but Dr. Jill is stupid and a bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was great.
Republicans aren't used, again, going back to what we discussed earlier, they're not used to fighting bare-knuckled, brawling style, and they think that would have been beneath them and undignified.
Undignified.
And these people for 4 years. And this was not, I mean, I think we have to have when we talked about immigration and our foreign policy and the inflation and economy and all these things that were taking place. When there's a series of coincidences, it ceases to be a coincidence.
Yes.
It was all systematic.
Yes.
We're just going to just continue to destroy this country. We're going to completely remake it with massive illegal immigration. I mean, this to me is why I can't understand. These people hate this country. They hate the country as originally founded. They hate the original Constitution. They hate the idea of the freeborn American people.
They hate whites, if I can just say.
There's a lot of things that they have hated for a long, and they intentionally and systematically were seeking to destroy us and our way of life. And Republicans, a lot of Republicans in D.C. are going along with it, going, oh, they're really not that bad, are they? Yes, they are. They truly are. And they would hope, their goal, I think, is to see this country cease to exist as it once was and to create some new order for this country that has nothing to do with where we came from at all.
I think people feel that.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.